What if I told you that you, the universe, and God aren't three different things, but somehow one story seen from three angles? Every atom inside your body was once thrown across space by a dying star, and every single thought you have, every memory, every dream runs on only about 20 watts of power, which is about the same energy as a small light bulb. So from all those tiny atoms, something inside you can look up at the night sky and ask why anything exists at all. That one question sits right at the center of one of the strangest debates between science and philosophy. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll hear three completely different answers, and trust me, none of them are boring. Imagine every beach, every desert, every handful of sand on Earth combined, and now imagine trying to count every single grain of sand, because there are more stars in the universe than all of those grains put together. And here's something even stranger. Everything you've ever seen, every planet, every star, every galaxy, every person, every animal, every tree, all of that makes up less than 5% of the entire universe, while the other 95% is completely invisible. And scientists call it dark matter and dark energy. Nobody has ever seen them directly. We only know they're there because of how they pull and push everything around them. Now, here's something beautiful. You are literally made of stardust, because billions of years ago, massive stars exploded, sending tiny pieces of themselves across space. And those tiny pieces eventually became planets, oceans, trees, and you. So you are quite literally a child of the stars. Even sunlight has an incredible story, because deep inside the sun, a tiny particle of light keeps bouncing around again and again and again for nearly 170,000 years. And only after that does it finally escape. And once it's free, it reaches Earth in just 8 minutes. Now, this is where things become really strange, because scientists discovered that the laws of nature are balanced with unbelievable precision. So if gravity were just a tiny bit stronger or weaker, or if the tiny particles inside atoms behaved just a little differently, there would be no stars, no planets, no life, no you. And it's almost like every setting was dialed to exactly the right number. Scientists call this fine-tuning. And there's even an idea called the anthropic principle, which simply says that the universe appears to have exactly the right conditions for observers like us to exist. And one study made an incredible point. Even if every planet capable of life actually had life, all living things combined would still be just a tiny speck compared to the rest of the universe. So life is unbelievably rare, yet somehow the universe seems perfectly prepared to allow it. For thousands of years, people asked one simple question: why does anything exist at all? And for many civilizations, the answer was simple: God. The idea that behind everything there is a creator, a mind, a source holding everything together. Then science arrived with the Big Bang, galaxies, black holes, quantum physics. But here's something surprising. Science didn't erase the biggest questions. It actually made them louder, because now we ask why the laws of nature exist, why the universe began, and why these rules instead of countless others. Now comes one of the strangest ideas, because in quantum physics, tiny particles don't always seem to have one fixed state until they're measured. And exactly what this means is still heavily debated. But some thinkers take that idea one step further and ask, what if awareness didn't suddenly appear after billions of years? What if it was part of reality from the very beginning? So if that's true, maybe the entire universe has something like a mind. And some philosophers call that mind God. One research paper even argues that universal awareness could be what many religions have always meant by God. Now, this is not settled science, because many physicists disagree completely and say quantum physics does not prove a universal mind, but it's still a fascinating possibility. So maybe God isn't someone far away watching the universe, but maybe God is the universe becoming aware of itself. Your brain is an incredible storyteller, because everything you see, hear, feel, or taste isn't simply the outside world. It's actually a movie your brain creates every second. And from tiny electrical signals, it builds your entire experience of reality. And remember, it does all of that using only about 20 watts of power. So one little light bulb creates your whole world. Here's something even stranger. You're not just you, because your body contains roughly as many bacteria cells as human cells, so you're actually an entire ecosystem walking around. In rare medical cases, when the connection between the brain's two halves is separated, each side can appear to have its own awareness, almost like two minds sharing one body. Now back to quantum physics. Because some experiments suggest that the way we choose to measure tiny particles can influence what we observe, and exactly why is still debated. A huge scientific study looked at brain activity across tens of thousands of people, and the connection between brain patterns and people's experiences was weaker than many expected. So some researchers think this could mean the mind might be more than just brain activity. And again, this remains controversial, because most neuroscientists still believe consciousness comes entirely from the brain. But imagine for just a moment, what if your awareness isn't an accident at all? What if you are simply the place where the universe finally opened its eyes? So how do these three ideas fit together? First, the universe has laws that seem perfectly balanced for life. So if those laws changed even slightly, none of us would be here. And that means the observer, you, suddenly becomes part of the story. Second, quantum physics suggests that observation might play a surprisingly important role. So some thinkers combine those two ideas and ask, what if awareness isn't just something brains create? What if awareness came first and everything else grew out of it? So if that's true, some people call that universal awareness God, and your own consciousness would simply be one tiny wave in an endless ocean. Philosopher Bernardo Kastrup suggests there may actually be only one giant mind, and every living thing, including you, is like its own individual perspective inside that one mind. Some newer theories even propose that consciousness may be more fundamental than space, time, or matter itself. People also notice that the giant web of galaxies looks surprisingly similar to the network inside the human brain. And scientists are quick to remind us that this is only a visual similarity, not evidence. But still, it's difficult not to stop and wonder. So maybe the universe was always capable of awareness. Maybe God is simply that awareness. And maybe you are the exact place where the universe stopped being silent and started asking questions. So where does all of this leave us? Maybe you're not just living inside the universe. Maybe in a strange way, the universe is living inside you. Because every atom inside your body once belonged to a star. That star became your brain, and now that brain is asking the biggest question in existence. If the universe really is this perfectly balanced, if awareness really is woven into reality, then maybe you're not just a random accident. Maybe you're the exact place where the universe finally started paying attention to itself. Some people call that physics, some call it God, and others simply call it the greatest question we've never fully answered. So let me leave you with one final thought. If the universe really is thinking through you right now, what do you want it to think about next? Tell me down in the comments, because I genuinely read every single one. And if this video made your mind look at reality just a little differently, then hit subscribe, because we've only just begun, and I'll see you in the next one.